Charmaine Yost from Americans United for Life, who's kind enough to join us at an ungodly hour from San Francisco. And Charmaine, Rebecca Tracer, who's here at the table, wanted to ask you a question.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Charmaine. I have a question. You talked a lot about the use of tax dollars, and one of the things that I've noticed about the congressional investigation is that it's going to be this enormous and presumably quite expensive investigation into Planned Parenthood, when in fact Planned Parenthood is investigated in that it is audited by the federal government because it receives federal funds by the Department of Health and Human Services and by state Medicaid agencies all the time. In fact, the kind of discrepancies that you've turned up and that you cite in your report have been turned up because it is scrutinized so closely. And so isn't that a tremendous waste to sort of redo a job that is done regularly and has been done throughout the history of Planned Parenthood, or since it's gotten federal funds? I mean, what about the tax dollars going to repeat a job that's already being done?
No, that's a really good question, Rebecca. And one of the things that I found very troubling that we document in the report is that one of the times that the government has looked into Planned Parenthood, in 2010, the Government Accounting Office did do a look at how Planned Parenthood was spending federal dollars. And there was a huge discrepancy between the amount of money that Planned Parenthood said that they were spending and that the GAO was able to document. So there really hasn't been. This is an unprecedented look at how Planned Parenthood is spending federal dollars. And truthfully, let's be honest here. We can all disagree about the issue of abortion. There are differences of opinion, but the American people are the strong majority, upwards of 70%, sometimes 80% in polling, don't want to see their tax dollars going to subsidize abortion.
Right, and
Planned Parenthood, they do. They get $1 million a day in government funding,
which they don't use for abortions.
Right. I mean, the Hyde Rule bars them.
But Rebecca, that's what they say.
Wait,
that's
no,
what
but that's not just they say. That's what the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Studies Services, CMS, that's what they have to certify every year. That's what they audit them for, right? I mean, the whole point is that there's a Hyde Amendment that's been in place, and let me just, so that people don't know, there's a good graphic of what Planned Parenthood and services are. There's a Hyde Amendment that's been in place since, am I right that it's 1978, is that?
76.
76? I can't get my dates right today. It's been in place in 1976, which explicitly says that government cannot fund abortion, and there are routine checks to make sure that's not the case. So the question is, what is the new evidence on the table that makes you think that that is happening?
Well, that's what the question is asking Planned Parenthood to document how they separate the funds, because there never has been a systematic investigation of whether or not they are commingling their funds. We have former clinic directors who are coming forward and saying they put it all in the same pot. You know,
there was one former clinic director, I think, in your report, right?
We have never seen actual documentation from Planned Parenthood. I'm really glad you're emphasizing the fact that it is very, very clear from federal law that you are not allowed. It is against the law to spend federal dollars to subsidize abortion. And it's, you know, if Planned Parenthood wants to present themselves as a health care provider, why don't they just spin off their abortion business instead of commingling and keeping the two businesses together? It's easy for them to say they're not spending it on abortion. We'd like to see the documentation, and that's a heavy emphasis of the investigation.
Charmaine, I'm glad you mentioned that, because your group's called Americans United for Life, and I was wondering, do you have a concern that if you shutter every Planned Parenthood, the amount of poor and working class women who aren't going to be able to get cervical cancer exams, who aren't going to be able to get mammograms, and not to mention the thousands of women who would die from botched, illegal, back alley abortions? I mean, is that, as someone who says you stand for life, is the death of thousands of American women a concern to you?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
No, it's actually a very accurate question.
Well, listen, and it's a good question, and I think it's important for the American people to understand that we do have a public health service that has 8,000 community health clinics across the country. To take a perfect example of in Indiana, where there's been a lot of controversy over Planned Parenthood funding, only 1% of Medicaid patients are being served by Planned Parenthood in the entire state of Indiana, and yet Planned Parenthood provides 50% of the abortions that are being performed in Indiana.
95% of counties in Indiana, there is not an abortion provider. So the question of 50% of abortions.
Well, but that's a really important point, because at the same time that we've seen this dramatic increase in government funding going towards Planned Parenthood, they have been dramatically incing their market share of abortion providing across the country.
There are many reasons for increases in abortion, including an economy, including families unable to afford to be able to expand, including the shutdown of clinics, and private providers who, often fearing for their safety and their lives, are no longer providing abortions, leaving Planned Parenthood as the only provider in many areas.
Charmaine Yost, I'm going to let you get the last word, and then we have to go to a break.
Well, the key here is transparency and accountability, which is a bipartisan issue, and I just commend the Energy and Commerce investigators for asking some real common sense questions to protect the American taxpayers' interest in not subsidizing abortion.
I lied, actually. One more question. How closely have you worked with the chairman of that committee, Stearns, in precipitating this investigation?
Well, we released the report this summer, which was also followed by undercover investigations from Live Action, where they showed Planned Parenthood clinic workers, violating being very willing to violate parental notification laws.
But have you been in
and
contact with Chairman Stearns' office on this?
We talk to a lot of people on Capitol Hill every day, Chris, and we are very proud to support Congressman Stearns and his investigators, who happen to be also the very same investigators who uncovered the Cylinder scandal. So these are really these are solid professionals, and they're doing great work.
Charmaine Yost, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Chris.
I know it's very, very early in San Francisco.
I appreciate you looking at the issue, Chris.
Thank you so much. Chairman Stearns declined to appear on Up This Morning. We would have loved to have him. And Chairman, if you are up and watching us, please come in next week. I'll give you as much time as you want. My story of the week.